We're on.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm well too, thank you. Good morning, listening audience. We forgot my computer this morning, so no music. So we'll stretch this opening out just for a second so that people can get on and don't miss the actual content. The first thing that I want to do today is to say a sincere thank you to the 4 people who reached out to me after Friday's emotional live stream. I have an Al-Anon meeting to try with a woman I know who goes. I had 2 great conversations. Actually, 5 people reached out to me. 2 great conversations with people who would like to go with me, and another person who's been going. So I just really appreciate it. Even knowing that the people who reached out to me have had some experience and are thinking about going or have gone makes me feel so much better. So thank you for that. I really do appreciate it. So we were in Minneapolis this weekend.
Yes.
To see my mom and my brother and my mom's person and my nieces and
Our nieces.
Yeah, our family. We were there to see our family.
And we had a fantastic time. Thank you, Bonnie.
And Bob.
And Bob.
And on the way there, we were listening to a podcast called Seasons of Sobriety. It's mostly an East Coast podcast, but everybody kept talking about the 12 promises, which I'd never heard of. I don't know anything about AA because Maz doesn't really talk about it as is appropriate. So he pulled them up for me to look at because everyone kept talking about if you follow these, you will find peace and success and a new way forward, which actually, as with so much of this content, is exactly what everybody, I think, on the planet wants. You don't have to be an addict to want to find peace and a new way forward and something to hold on to. So I want to read you these because I was really struck by them.
That. So just to give you one more moment of backstory, there are 12 promises, which Dana's going to read for you. There are 12 traditions, which is something else to think about, and there are 12 steps.
I don't know anything about the traditions.
Yeah. But the promises are how you're supposed to, when your mind becomes geared to the fact that you want to stay in a state of sobriety. These are the things that you should consider. They're different from the 12 steps of making amends for your past actions. These are little tidbits on how you should start to relearn how to relive your life. So that's why they're different.
Okay, so here we go. Number 1, if we are painstaking about this phase of our development, we will be amazed before we are halfway through. Number 2, we are going to know a new freedom and a new happiness. Number 3, we will not regret the past nor wish to shut the door on it. Number 4, we will comprehend the word serenity and we will know peace. Number 5, no matter how far down the scale we have gone, we will see how our experience can benefit others. Number 6, that feeling of uselessness and self-pity will disappear. Number 7, we will lose interest in selfish things and gain interest in our fellows. Number 8, self-seeking will slip away. Number 9, our whole attitude and outlook upon life will change. Number 10, fear of people and of economic insecurity will leave us. Number 11, we will intuitively know how to handle situations which used to baffle us. And number 12, we will suddenly realize that God is doing for us what we could not do for ourselves. Are these extravagant promises? We think not. They are being fulfilled among us, sometimes quickly, sometimes slowly. They will always materialize if we work for them. I mean, come on. Aren't you moved by those? I just thought that, I mean, we all have things about our pasts we would change if we could go back. Guess what? You don't get to go back. So what's the point of regret? And seeking to think only about yourself leaves you lonely and I think afraid. And everything that we've experienced in life can be a benefit to someone else. I mean, I just thought these were absolutely beautiful, practical, emotional steps to think about living as a human being.
Yeah, they are.
So we wanted to share them with you, whether you struggle with addiction or you have an addict in your life or not. I think they're just beautiful human promises.
They are. That's why they're the promises, why they're different from the 12 steps and the 12 traditions. But they're not new ideas if you think about these. So here's another lovely backstory about this weekend. So a few weeks ago we had another family reunion at a lake cabin with Dana's dad.
They know we were at the lake.
We were at the lake, of course. You know all this. So Quinn and I were talking about a book of meditations by Marcus Aurelius. Now, please don't think, oh my God, they're going to start talking about the classics. Wait a minute, he's a college professor. No one panic. But Quinn sent me a lovely postcard because we sent him a hardback copy of these meditations because he introduced them to me. He said, I think you'll love these. So I got my own copy. But Quinn wrote in this little card.
It just came yesterday.
Just came yesterday. I thought I'd write to tell you how much I appreciate you and I'm looking forward to chatting soon. That's because getting into the program, getting sober, following these traditions and everything else, I got the respect of my wife and back and our son.
Yes.
Now, I just want to read you one thing. Actually, I'm going to ask you to read it because here's the truth. In October, I'm getting a very much needed eye test and I'm going to bite the bullet and finally get myself some bifocals. But at the minute, otherwise I'll be doing this. So just read that one out.
Number 8. All right. Number 8. Failure to read what is happening in another's soul is not easily seen as a cause of unhappiness. But those who fail to attend to the motions of their own soul are necessarily unhappy.
Yeah, I mean, that's, again, these 12 promises. I mean, Marcus Aurelius has been dead for quite some time, but the logic...
Since way before Jesus.
The logic of that is just how we're supposed to be dealing with our lives. And that's why I think these promises are so appealing, because when you're stuck in addiction, in that addiction cycle, you are not living your life. And someone recently asked me, so what's the whole point about why is it 28 days? Why is it a 28-day program? Which is a great statement. Here's the thing. So usually it takes about 2 weeks, 14 days, to get sober, to get everything out of your system, to get your biochemistry of most of your body back to its base level. That's when you start thinking clearly. So then you've got another 2 weeks in that program for them to work on you to see if you want to...
And for you to work on you.
To work on yourself to see if you want to take or start the work of staying sober.
Oh.
Both my counsellors, Rod first and then they were fantastic, Joanne, said to me, you know, anyone can be sober. Any idiot can be sober, you just don't drink. Staying sober is going to take some effort. And now is where we start to see if you want to take the effort. It's not easy. People fail. I'm incredibly lucky. I haven't yet. I don't think I am, but I'm not going to be complacent, because you never know. And there's nothing wrong with failing. There's nothing wrong with lapsing or relapsing. You know, it's another one of these old stories, you know. First you don't succeed, try again. That's one for the Scottish out there, good old Rabbie Burns. Fall down 7 times, get up 8. Anything like that. It just, do you want to keep going?
Which again I think is true for all of us. That's not the purview of the addicts. That's the purpose of living. We can all get mired in whatever is weighing us down. You know, a bad job, too much weight, a heartbreak, hardship of some sort doesn't necessarily change your biochemistry. So that's where the addiction piece, I think, is different than life. But the despair, the depression, the inability to take the first step, the feeling like nothing's ever going to get better, that's just part of being human. Ask me if I thought as a young single mom in the dead of winter of 1996 if my life was going to ever get better. I can promise you I did not think it was. So we all have the opportunity to strive, to dream, to work, to improve. And that's what I think these promises are going to do. So we're going to spend the next 12 days, we're going to do one promise a day, and we're just going to talk through them. And what we really, really hope is that you will join us actively in the conversation.
Yeah, hope so.
So you're always welcome to chime in. My mom and Sandy are, I think, renewing their friendship directly because of Daily Doses, which is great. But everybody else is welcome to chime in too, and to share things that you are happy to share publicly, or to share things privately with us too, that could be told in a way so as not to reveal anything about you, but that could be lifelines or carrots or nuggets or something for somebody else.
It's just great advice for life, especially now. I mean, even if you just ignore any kind of political tension anywhere. I mean, this isn't the only country that's on the run up to a general election, but you know, we're in the grasp of a pandemic. America's a big country. You know, you see these things like, well, Spain as a country, they're having a bit of an increase. France has a decrease. New Zealand, bless the
Good
Prime
job,
Minister.
Prime Minister, who happens to be a woman.
Yesterday they were 100 days without a new case.
Imagine that. It's too bad women's brains are so small and we're too irrational and emotional
easy
to
target.
lead.
My point of this is we all live in fear. We are. This is a scary time, and it puts more stress on yourself. People feel bleak. So these 12 promises are supposed to give you a kickstart to remembering that there is light at the end of the tunnel. How are you supposed to get through a day? These things help. So. And that's how addicts work towards getting out of their cycle of addiction, or digging themselves out of a hole. You don't have to be an addict to have dug yourself into a hole. So, you know, this will help everyone, I think.
Yeah, so tune in tomorrow morning when we start on the first one, and we'll work our way through. So we will see you
tomorrow morning.
Have a great day.
Bye.